For the sake of actually giving you some idea what's going on, let's read the blurb on the back. Austin Watkins, 35 and a single father, finds himself in a precarious situation. Currently locked up in Chicago's Cook County Jail, he knows that Fredquisha, the trifling mother of his only daughter, is a despicable, careless, and reckless thought, who is the antithesis of caring, loving black motherhood. Wanting to see her son gain full redemption from his current situation, Dolores Watkins, better known as Miss Watkins, is also hell-bent on rescuing Austin's 6-year-old daughter, Maya, from the clutches of a relentless psychological, emotional, and physical abuse that she suffers at the hands of Fredquisha. Hoping her son works hard to change the course of his life for the betterment of his daughter, Ms. Watkins explores the possibility of challenging Fredquisha's custody of Maya. But as she navigates the complex, red-tape-filled bureaucracy of child welfare services, Miss Watkins decides to take things in her own hands and is willing to put her life on the line for the salvation of her granddaughter. One thing that isn't super clear from just casually browsing through Quan Millz' works is that they are generally episodic. Now, I would go so far as to say, while this may have originally been released as an episodic book, I don't know. I'm completely unsure. It's actually a pretty good size. The story's complete. Despite what the back says, the vast majority of the book really does just center around Maya. So it's largely a book that, if I'm being blunt, examines child abuse. The other characters are really just acting as vessels to show what happens when a child's experiencing severe abuse and the ripple effects that can have throughout their family, especially when people recognize that something's going on and are trying to fix the situation and struggling, especially against a system that is not built in a way that enables quick or effective ways of dealing with these types of situations. So there are cultural aspects to it that obviously, given how easily I reflect light, I'm not going to really be all that equipped to deal with or to understand. I do have some firsthand knowledge of what it's like living in an area that has a high rate of poverty, because where I live at, we do have a high rate of poverty, and I am actually a teacher, so I've had some interactions with social services and whatnot to varying degrees. Fortunately, I've never been in the position to have to report anything incredibly severe or as bad as what is happening in this book, but I am aware of things that have happened in my area, and even in a remote, rural, relatively small area, I've heard some genuinely horrendous stories of things that have actually happened.